I'm back, and with significantly less hair. I know in my last vlog, I mentioned that even though I wasn't doing it weekly anymore, I would still be doing at least one a month, and that was well over a month ago. Sorry about that, but we have a new episode today, so yeah. I'll mostly be talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and the last chunk of episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, as well as where it'll be going moving forward. But before I get to that, just a quick plug of my own thing. If you're not reading Chrono Hustle yet, my series about a time-traveling con artist, you should check it out. I'll have a link down in the description or whatever. So far, there are 4 stories that I've put up. I put them up on my Tumblr account. Which, yeah, we have first one, which is mostly just setup, getting main character Jack Masterson involved in time traveling. Second one has him visiting the Stone Age. The third one has him visiting the Wild West. And the fourth one has him going to the future. In the fifth one, which will be going up on June 2nd, as I put up a new one on the 2nd of each month, I'll be introducing the Age of Piracy as the next era. So go check it out if you haven't yet. On another note, MCU related, but not quite the bulk of this episode. There's a new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer coming out today. Last I checked, it wasn't online yet, but I will try and put a link in the description down below when it's up. Anyway, so Captain America, the Winter Soldier. Amazing movie. My second favorite movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In many ways, it was the best. Better even than Avengers, my favorite. Really, the only reason Avengers is still my favorite is because of the whole crossover appeal. I love that stuff, whatever, having the characters from the different series interacting with each other. But like Captain America, just the story was awesome. The fight scenes and other action scenes were just amazingly choreographed. And while the movie was funny, it didn't have the same level of humor that some people have been complaining about in the last couple of movies, with almost slapstick style stuff. Yeah, the movie was a lot more serious in tone, and I don't want to say darker, but like I said, it took itself seriously. But of course, the big thing, and this is major spoilers, if you haven't seen the movie yet, or had it otherwise spoiled to you, because if you know the spoiler, you know what I'm talking about. So if you don't want it spoiled, you shouldn't be watching the rest of this, and you shouldn't really have been watching the last chunk of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, because if you've seen that, it's been spoiled as well. Okay, so you're gone now, if you don't want to be hearing this. So yeah, S.H.I.E.L.D. has been infiltrated by Hydra since pretty much its inception. So now they were finally going and trying to complete their master plan, which luckily was foiled by Captain America, but as a result, S.H.I.E.L.D's kind of been disbanded. Although, as we learn a bit in the movie, in one of the after credit scenes, but also more with what we've been learning Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, is that now, yeah, a lot of the former S.H.I.E.L.D. bases have become Hydra bases as they're working on, well, a lot of different things. As the Hydra, as it had been, was headed up by Alexander Pierce, but with him dead, it seems that there's a lot of different factions. Like in the after the credits scene, we saw one of the after credit scenes. We saw a faction headed up by Baron von Strucker, who will be showing up in next year's Avengers: Age of Ultron. So that is definitely something to be looking forward to. Meanwhile, over in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the TV series, they've been dealing with the chunk, and this next chunk that I'll be saying will be spoilers for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. specifically. So if you've seen Captain America but you haven't seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and you don't want that spoiled, this is your time to get off. So, yeah, in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. they were dealing with a section of Hydra being led by John Garrett, who, up until he was revealed to be Hydra, seemed to be a fairly decent guy, but that's the thing with spies. They're never what they're seen. They never display what they seem. And it turns out he also had a mole on the team, Agent Ward, who, despite what some people may have thought was coming, he didn't really have a redemption. He pretty much stayed evil right from when the reveal happened till the end of the season. Which means it'll be very interesting to see where it goes, where the story goes moving forward, as it seems likely that Agent Trip, who joined the characters after the whole Hydra thing, will be joining the main cast. But we'll see what happens with Ward. I'm guessing he'll still be recurring, but whether or not he's still part of the main cast now that he's evil and in jail remains to be seen. Garrett himself was obviously killed, and yeah. But with S.H.I.E.L.D. gone, also the team was kind of on the run for a while because the bases that aren't being controlled by Hydra generally had to be, surrendered over to whoever, U.S. military or presumably other militaries in other countries. But as Coulson and his team went on the run in order to, work on fighting Hydra, they didn't exactly get on the good side of the U.S. military who doesn't trust them. It seems with the finale, with them taking down Garrett's group, that they're being let loose. And as was shown in the finale, Fury is telling Coulson that he should be putting S.H.I.E.L.D. back together. So now with the next season, it'll be about building up a new S.H.I.E.L.D. led by Coulson. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes and how the show is going to be dealing with that. I'm guessing it'll be something... They'll still be doing missions themselves, but also building up an organization, and it'll be really interesting to see. Also, another interesting thing is that, in addition to it being renewed for a second season, the Agent Carter series has also been ordered, and they're actually going to be sharing a time slot. So what they are going to be doing is doing the first half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. starting in September and going till, I don't know, November-ish? Maybe December, maybe into December. Either way, however long it takes. Then they'll be running Agent Carter, which will be 13 episodes straight through until its season is done, and then going and airing the second half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That way you have a nice 30-some week block of episodes with no interruptions, and you don't have the problem that we had this year, and then most shows have many years where it's like, oh, no new episode this week. Okay, and then no new episode this week, and then people end up missing episodes because they don't realize when it's come back. This way we have a nice going straight through. And if they play it right, they could even tie in the storylines and such, doing things like having Agent Carter either, showing some of the backstory to some of the storylines that they do in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or just stuff like that or whatever, and definitely looking forward to it. That's about it for today's episode. I will try to do at least one vlog a month, like I initially said. Maybe more, but maybe less. We'll see how it goes. I do definitely have a few ideas for topics I want to talk about, like the state of the Star Wars expanded universe and other stuff. But if you have any ideas for topics you want me to talk about, or if you have anything to say about this episode, mention it down below in the comments. Thumbs the video up if you like it. Thumbs it down if you don't. Subscribing would be great. Remember, subscribing helps me out and makes it more likely that I'll be doing more episodes. And still, if we get to the 10 subscribers, I will be doing that gag reel I've talked about before. So, yeah. And have fun.